Hello everybody and welcome back to Caedmon Hall. Did I say that right?
Correct.
And we're here for Lee Paul Band's Saturday acoustic show, which was sold out, which was a complete waste of time doing the podcast, Brian. But anyhow, I'm here with Ali, Brian and Lee from Lee Paul Band. Hello guys, you alright?
Hello, yeah, good, thanks.
I suppose the best place to start, obviously, because we're here at the venue, is are you looking forward to tonight? We'll start with you.
Yeah, very excited to show some new stuff and get back on stage.
Mm-hmm. Are you? How many of the new stuff are you doing? Because they mentioned it in the podcast, but
We're doing a few different covers that we've never done before, but we're doing 3 new ones tonight.
oh, excellent.
The next album.
So are you excited, Brian?
Not
Are you
really,
excitable,
because
man?
Strictly Come Dancing's on. And it's movie time on X Factor as well. So really, it's a
You
bit
don't
of
watch that, do you, Brian?
Your DVR's
it's
going
a bit of
crazy.
a bummer having to come here on a Saturday night. You know? I had it all planned. I've got my special slippers, my Saturday night slippers.
And it's sold out as well, so you've got to try.
Yeah.
You've got to try, Brian. This is great.
No, it should be cool. It should be. It's a lovely venue, so
it is.
I think it'll be quite special, to be honest.
I don't know whether I mentioned this. I asked you this on the podcast, but how do you feel about doing an acoustic version of your stuff?
It's good. I mean, we're quite versatile, aren't we? I
So,
suppose
yeah.
we can do the big rock stuff and the sort of chilled out stuff and that. And what I prefer this sort of thing. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I was saying to Lee, it's easier. It's easier to do. Sort of, you pick out when you're doing it acoustically. You pick out the little bits that you think, oh, we can improve on that and make it perfect for when you do sort of a bigger gig, which I think sort of makes it work better, doesn't it? It's,
It makes it work harder, doesn't it?
yeah, it does. Yeah, it's a lot harder, but it pays off in the end, definitely.
You
Kind
can
of
get lost in
behind
the
the
noise.
noisy people.
Yeah, the drums can't just like get rid of it. So, like, do you have to? I suppose based on your answers, it sounds like you have to have a different approach acoustic wise. Do you just have to go and sort of practice how to change the certain songs and whatnot?
The structures tend to stay the same a bit, but some of the solos have to change slightly. The dynamics of the songs change.
It's not too bad. It's just it makes you realise.
You're more exposed.
You're more exposed. So you sometimes realise, oh, that's not as good as it could be. We need to work on that, which is good. It makes us sort of better as a band doing it that way, I think.
I got away with loads of mistakes
Yeah,
too, but tonight I'm going to get panned.
I'm gonna get booed off.
I'm not even going to plug my instrument in. I'm just going to go bong bong bong.
Shows how good of an interviewer I am. I nearly swore forgetting that this isn't the podcast. This is the video version. I do not swear. It's YouTube. But anyway, yeah. So that sounds good. So Ali, I never got a chance to ask because we went down the line. Are you looking forward to
Yeah,
playing?
no, I think it's going to be nice. It's going to be different for us playing like this, really, isn't it? I mean, we have done because it's advertised as acoustic, but it's not fully acoustic. We've got sort of electric instruments in there, but it's sort of a nice chilled out mix, I think, which is going to be nice because we've never really done the in between, have we? It's always been one extreme or the other. It's going to be nice.
Yeah, because the drum kit setup, is that for you? Is it so? The drums involved as well.
Yeah, drums. It's sort of, but it's kind of
Couldn't take his baby away from him. Come on.
yeah. If I use
you might cry.
use the cajon, which is like the box. Sometimes it's sort of like it looks like you're just sitting on and playing a box, but we sometimes use that for acoustic stuff, and we're kind of using that a bit today and using the drum kit just to sort of make it a bit more interesting. And also, my hands after an hour hitting the box, they're dead.
I like them though. I have to say,
they do sound really nice. They are good.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them when I go.
They're
around gigs
becoming
and
really
stuff,
popular now. Actually,
Yeah.
so you see them quite a lot because you can basically carry around a chair with you and an instrument at the same time. So it's pretty useful.
Yeah, I have
It's just
to.
handy for all the members of the band.
And also, if you get a slightly older clientele, it's not
Exactly.
loud.
Yeah.
So I'll appreciate it for that.
The front row's not going to appreciate it. Are they?
No, they're not. No.
We've got safety goggles for the first 10 rows. So it should be fine.
So I never got a chance to ask Lee because obviously I've done some podcasts with your band members and whatnot. So in general, how would you sum up your O2 experience? I never got a chance to ask you.
Oh, it was unreal. It's great being on the stage. The audience, I had a great reaction from the audience and stuff, and it felt like a rock star for the night. It was great.
You seen you don't usually.
In my head I do, but actually felt it on stage.
Ali, how about you?
Yeah, no, it was amazing. The O2, it just was over way too quick. It was kind of literally months and months of rehearsing. Felt like sort of 2 seconds when you're up there. It just flies by. But it was good. It was amazing. Yeah, it was really good.
And of course, if you're Brian and make all the mistakes, you think, why we practice so long?
I had my in-ear monitoring, hearing everything Brian was doing. It was
It's going to be an absolute disaster tonight.
So how was I knew as well because I remember Ian's mentioned this on the podcast as well. You've been in America for a bit, haven't you?
I have, yes. Yeah.
What were you doing? Was it just vacation or
Pestering me and Ali by Facebook and stuff like that. That's what he was doing.
I forgot you don't know because you never had a chance. You haven't had a chance to listen to the podcast yet. But Brian was having a go at you because he said and also I called out Mike, so you got to let Mike know that I'm calling him out. But he said that he didn't appreciate you ringing him at 3 a.m. for getting the time difference.
No, I knew what time it was. Just made him wake up. He's lazy.
You're going to bed? Oh no, it's alright. I was getting up to go to the toilet.
Your 7th trip of the night.
I am old, you know.
And bringing up the old thing again. It's a common trend. But yeah, so you did. I noticed though because I've seen on your YouTube channel and stuff, you were doing some music there.
I was just doing some acoustic stuff out there just to kind of sell the album. I've been sold in a few little coffee shops and stuff out there at the minute. The album, so it was just a way of promoting it a bit while I was there. Okay.
So is the sort of I said that I mentioned this on the podcast as well. Like, is there an element of you want to sort of crack America because we were talking about how the country music, which you've sort of been labelled as, is far the database of stuff there is far greater there than it is here. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, it'd be nice to do that.
I think what we're trying to get at the minute is kind of a good mix. It sort of is going to do well over here and also in America. Because I mean,
we're trying to put our own stamp on it all.
Yeah,
as well.
If we advertise ourselves as country, it's going to people over here. If you say, "Oh, listen to this, it's a country band," they're not going to be as keen if you say, "Here's a pop kind of band," which is where I think we're getting a good mix now, aren't we? Sort of our new stuff, which you'll hear tonight, is sort of a good sort of mix of sort of good compromise, really, of something that could do well over here and also in America, fingers crossed. So. Yeah,
because I also asked as well that one of the things I think is interesting is there an element of that it's because there isn't so much of a fan base for want of a better word here, that you have a certain amount of uniqueness and you're sort of the head of the field, as it were. Or would you look at yourselves as that at all? Or?
I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
So are you saying in regards to adding sort of pop stuff? Do you think that's sort of relevant to be relevant?
I think even sort of in America now, sort of the chart music, like the country charts over there, are pretty. They're kind of going that way, aren't they? They're kind of going down towards the commercial pop kind of, but we're still with an element of country in, which is good because it's moving forward. But also sort of I think they need to try and keep the actual kind of country stamp on it. But I think they're sort of getting that balance which we're slowly trying to get here, and I think we are getting slowly of what could do well over here. I mean, we must be doing something right from selling tonight out, so it must be doing something right.
We're trying. You're finding it as well as we're trying to keep our sound and add all these and just evolve and get better. That's the main thing with the band, is we just want to get better from gig to gig. So when people are coming along to see, they see that improvement, that progression all the time.
Do you think that improvement is in a large part of the fact that you've added to your band? Because I know that you added a lot for the O2 and you've dwindled, but it's quite. You've got like seven members.
Yeah, we're a 7-piece. Yeah, so we've got what we want now, haven't we, for the sound to move forward in the way. So
I think we could do another 3 or 4, to be honest with you.
I watched
Elvis last night on ITV. The number ones of thinking they had about 15 backing singers. Unbelievable.
Is that the next stage?
That's the next stage.
So in regards to your sort of albums and whatnot, because you had a recent album out, like how's that doing so far?
Yeah, it's doing really well. Really well. Yeah, so it's out there on iTunes.
Yeah, excellent.
Right on there.
So how long did you guys spend on getting that ready?
I suppose for you, it was pretty much all your life, really.
It was about 15 years of work for me, but
well, in the studio, probably was like
about a year.
But I suppose you won 2 years, I suppose. From
what did you mean by that when you said that? Is it because I know through interviewing you in the past that you've been in other bands and whatnot?
But I've always been interested in this style of music. I've been writing for a long time and just never been happy.
Yeah,
at the point, so I've been in and recorded some of the songs on an album in different places and come away and kind of thought, no, I'm not.
It's amazing when we hear the original stuff that we recorded, because we were in a band 4 years ago?
4 years, yeah, because I used to play with.
It's amazing hearing the old recordings of how it sounds now. It's come on so much. Really.
Yeah, I think the first time I knew you were in a different band.
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. So, would you say, based on the fact you mentioned that you've got, all the bands you've been in and like your sort of first album to now, would you say, based on your music material, that you could see the progression you guys have made?
Definitely, yeah.
In what sense? What would you say?
We've got much better, haven't we?
I just think we know. I just think we know what we're after now. Whereas I think before we were kind of, we were trying to, I don't know, we were always trying to get sort of that next step, which I think now, I think there's still improvements to make, but I think we've reached a good level now of a good.
The good thing is, just 7 of them, we're not scared to say to each other, well, that's not very good.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a good thing, Someone will play a note like me and Lale going, what was that? What's wrong with it? We'll not play it again. And that's a good thing. No one gets in.
I think that's the most important thing is that we all get on really well. I think if that just sort of means when we turn up rehearsal, it's like good fun and you look forward to it. Whereas I've had I sort of with other bands, you kind of turn up and it's like, oh, got rehearsal today, got to do this. But it's sort of I look forward to every rehearsal really, which I think is a good for moving forward.
Yeah, forwards flies, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was going to say to you how rare that is.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you appreciate it because I was other bands I was in. It was just terrible. So yeah, in terms of there's another thing that came up which I thought was interesting because I interviewed bands for quite a while, and one of the things I think is good about you guys in particular with you, who was saying on the podcast as well that one of the things I like is that you seem to delegate a lot. You don't seem to be someone that sort of it falls down, falls down the hill, and you give little bits out and go, you must do this, because Brian was saying that you go, what do you think, and etc. Do you is that key to everything?
Oh, of course, yeah. We're a team. It's as simple as that. It's not me standing there barking out orders to people. We're a team together, and I think it's finding what everybody does best. You know what I mean, and take it from there.
Yeah, I think we're slowly kind of. I mean, it takes time, doesn't it, to work out what people do sort of well, but we are slowly kind of developing it, which I think is really good.